So the birthday llamas are back and they are full of heroes and schematics from many past events such as the road trip event, winter event, the Yar, Frostnite, Fortnite Mares, Lovestorm, Tales of Beyond and the Cram session. But today I'm going to be going over the 10 best and must get heroes in my opinion from the birthday llamas, so let's get into it. So first up is actually Sub-Zero Zenith. He is an Outlander, but what exactly does he do? He has Icy Shot Plus, so sniper critical hits freeze enemies for 1.6 seconds and apply water affliction, dealing 21 base water damage per second for 3 seconds. Now if you actually came to our Twine Peaks Endurance ones, or these guys very useful in any high mission, but let's refer to the Twine Peaks Endurance missions. I played Zenith on the second stream when we attempted it, and what you basically do with him, any smash or any husk that gets out of your tunnel, you just, a crankshot is probably the best weapon to use it because it's got the best fire rate. So you just constantly fire at that smasher and it will freeze them. As long as you keep shooting that smasher, it's going to be critting pretty frequently as well with a crit build, and you're freezing that smasher, and you can just stall it for as long as you want. And this really works well in these really hard 4 players as well. You have a Zenith on top of the objective, all the little husks get destroyed by your trap tunnels. It's always the odd smasher or maybe a sploder that might get through. That Zenith is just going to shoot those, freeze them. They'll be stalling in the tunnels. If you can shoot in the tunnel, you freeze an enemy in there. It just, you know, they're taking more damage from the traps because they're in the tunnel longer. So he is the first on this list and he's a very useful hero. Next up, staying in the whole Winter and Frostnite event, that because they were both pretty much the same event, is the Ice King. Now what does the Ice King do? He has Frozen Castle Plus, so enemies standing on structures affected by base are snared by 15%. Enemies that damage a structure affected by base are frozen for 4 seconds. Each enemy can be frozen once every 15 seconds. Now I really love Ice King in all these hardcore players. I have to say I main Ice King in pretty much the vast majority of these really difficult 4 players. You just put it your base on top of the objective. It's very defensive base though, so when the husks walk up to your objective, they're about to punch that wall, they're frozen. Now that gives your traps just a bit of breathing space, just to, if you have floor launchers, just to fling them away if they're on a reload, or you can just run around and clear the enemies, and it works so well. You can also have this guy, you know, put it on top of trap tunnels as well, and it's slowing them by an extra 15%, which is also very good. But I do use this guy more of a defensive base, but obviously as a support you probably want to put him in tunnels just because it's slowing them and they're going to be taking more damage in those tunnels. Now this is why I really love Ice King. Next up is Jingle Jess. Now I used to actually main Jingle Jess, but that was before the hero rework. After the hero rework, she kind of lost all the damage perks and all that. She had to make Teddy really good, but she still got the duration, which is what I really like. If you love Teddies, you more than likely will have Jingle Jess on your build because she increases that duration by 12 seconds as a commander or 4 seconds as a support, and you can combo this with so many heroes. One of the ACs as well has, once you get a fragment, it actually reduces that cooldown by an additional 6% or 6 seconds I should say, which just makes it a ton better as well. So that Teddy's going to be up a lot of the time if you have her on, if you have other cooldown specialists, other duration specialists on there. Very good hero for Teddies. You can also put the damage ones on. I do like using her. You can put her on, say if you're power 100, you can go into a power 50 zone, and you can just put her on. That Teddy's going to be there for such a long time. Have some hover turrets as well. You don't really have to be doing a lot of damage because all your fort stats and all that will be doing the damage for you. But she's a very good hero, and that is why she is on this list as well. Next up, the first of few in the whole road trip event, and it is first Shot Rio. She is probably one of the best soldiers, but there's a very specific way you've got to play her, because what she does, after reloading assault weapons, the next 6 shots have 100% crit chance. Now the way I personally really like using her whenever I do use her, now always refer to these really high missions. Say if you've got a Zenith and an Ice King already doing what they do in these high zones, you can be first Shot Rio. Now what you can do, say if a Zenith freezes that smasher, you have a Rat King with 2 crit damages and a reload speed. You do that reload, and then those next 6 shots will just eliminate that smasher so fast. Then you reload after every 6 shots, because the Rat King is a pretty slow fire rate weapon and only has a 10 magazine size anyway, so 60% of those shots are guaranteed crits, when the other 4 40% or 4 other shots. They're not guaranteed, but they can still crit. I think you'll have about a 10% chance though, because there's no point putting a crit rating on weapons that you use just for first shot Rio. Like things like the Rat King, the Hydra, those type of weapons I do think are best for her because they hit really hard. But that is why she is on this list, and she's a very, very good soldier. Another soldier from that road trip event is Tactical Assault Sledgehammer. What exactly does he do? Now this is a really good one. Increases assault critical damage by 225%. So say if you've got a fast fire rate weapon, you can just put a few crit chances on there and you'll be critting quite frequently but quite hard as well. Otherwise, what I think this weapon, this hero works best with is the Silent Spectre. Just a crit rating, a crit damage, or I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 crit damages you can have. I think it's 1. But the fire rate is really good. You're hitting for a ton of damage. This guy, he just really increases that crit damage massively. You're damaging and damaging so frequently. It's so noticeable as well. And even as a support, an extra 75%. That is still a decent amount, but as a commander, you want him as a commander. You'll definitely see the difference. Now this guy is very, very useful. Again, always think back to smashes. Fast fire weapon, you're spamming it like mad. That crit is going to proc quite frequently. That smash it will last no time whatsoever in the world because you will eliminate him, because you'll be critting and hitting insanely hard with Sledgehammer. So that is why he's on this list. Now next in this list is Thor. Now I very rarely see anyone even use her as a main. I never even use her as a main, but what exactly does she do? She has electrified floors plus, so enemies standing on structures affected by base take 38.1% energy damage every 5 seconds. Now this is very useful. Now where I think you can use this really well, say if you're as a commander, have the Ice King in support because they have an additional 15% snared or slow, basically the same thing, on there as well. So they're just going to be slowing them down by an additional 15%. Now then what you can also have wooden floor spikes on the floor and just do that. Have a really big base range. So they're walking along, they're taking damage from the wooden floor spikes, they're being slowed and snared by Ice King as well, whilst also being zapped with the electrified floors on this. It's just free damage with this hero. It really is free damage when husks stand on in your base range. This is why she's on this. She's very, very useful for pretty much any tunnel. Extra damage is extra damage, as long as it's not setting off exploders, which this doesn't do. It's just free damage. And that can also be the difference between a one husk getting through and destroying the objective or not. Just that tiny bit of 38.1% base energy damage just zapping that husk, because that, you may think that wall defending your Atlas target or whatever might break, there might be a husk walking in and that's damaged it completely, but this just zaps it, and that could be the difference. It really could be. So this is why she is on this list as well. Now another hero on this list, and now this is basically just if you love melee weapons, which I do. So what exactly does she do? She has Anatomy Lessons Plus, so it increases the critical hit rating of swords, axes and scythes by 45%. So this is very, very good. You can just have a pure crit damage build on weapons again, have her on, and you're getting pretty frequent crits, I should say. And so you're just swinging and swinging, you'll be critting like mad. But it's very self-explanatory, this. Just increases the crit rating. Very good hero. Put a sword on, put an axe on, put a scythe build on. Just have those on. She'll be allowing you to crit so frequently. But that is why she is on this list as well. Next up is Cloaked Shadow. Now again, this is another hero you don't really hear a lot of or see a lot of. So what does he do? He has Corrupted Aura Plus. So during Shadow Stance, deal 20 base damage per second to nearby enemies. Now that's the little you get like a little black ring around you that deals damage, like kind of like a smoke bomb but without the cloud. It's just like a little ring around you. Now it's not that makes it good, it's also this team perk you can have to make him even better. It is Endless Shadow off memory. I think it's called Endless Shadow. Now what that does is with every ninja in your support team, you increase the duration of Shadow Stance by 4 seconds. Now if you look at Shadow Stance down here, it already lasts 4 seconds. Now if you have 5 support ninjas on there, you can increase Shadow Stance by an additional 20 seconds, which makes it 24 seconds of free Shadow Stance. You get 1 melee kill and then you've got shadow stance for 24 seconds. You can run into an encampment and it'll be constantly doing damage around you. You don't have to have him as a main, you can have him as a support as well with the 5 ninjas. You don't even need 5 ninjas because you don't really run around, get one melee hit and just run around for 24 seconds. But this is a very good hero. It's very good in terms of keeping you alive as well. So think you can hit a little husk, then prioritize the smasher. Now all those other husks, husklings, riot huskies, they're going to be running towards you, trying to swarm you, trying to damage you while you're hitting this smasher, but they'll all be dying around you so quickly because this guy does a lot of damage just around your area. He's a very, very good hero, which is why he is also on this list. So second to last is Quick Draw Calamity. She's a pistol specialist. What exactly does she do though? She has 6 shooter plus, which increases pistol damage by 60% and impact by 75% for the first 6 shots in a magazine, and quite a lot of pistols only have 6 shots in their magazine as well. But I mostly actually use her as a support. I usually have Jingle Jess on just to increase that crit damage of pistols, while she's giving me an additional 20% damage. But if you have her on as a main, you're getting a free 60% damage, and you've also got that impact on there as well. So again, if a smasher or a high health enemy is coming through, you shoot them with a pistol that does a decent amount of impact anyway, and you're just going to be staggering and stunning them, which is very good. And it's for the first 6 shots, so I'm thinking Bald Eagle, that has a 7 magazine size. My favourite pistol in the game, the 6, is it 6 shooter? No, it's the Last Word, sorry. Again, it works really well with it. There's 6 shots in the magazine. It hits incredibly hard. It's pretty much automatic if you just hold down trigger without aiming down sights. It just is a very, very good weapon to use with Calamity, which is why she is also on this list. And finally on this list is one that's probably going to surprise a lot of people. It's a hero that gets absolutely no love whatsoever, but it's Bomb Squad Kyle. But what exactly does he do? He has Bomb Suit Plus, which increases your armor by 66, or in support he's got to increase it by 22. Armor is pretty much damage reduction to your health. Now I never run him as a main, but I run him with Paleo Luna. Now if you ever come to the streams, Paleo Luna is probably one of my favourite heroes in the game. We run Blast from the Past with her, so she has absolutely 0 shields whatsoever. You get a hit, you're in shadow stance whether a melee kill, so you're getting I think it's 63 armor already. I run Prehistoric Izzy, or Izo, whatever you say her name. She gives me an additional armor as well, and he also gives me an additional 22 armor. It just makes Paleo Luna incredibly tanky. I usually have over 1 million health with her, taking next to no damage per hit as well. Sometimes I have a life leech melee on as well, so I'm constantly staying high, and I have survivalist on that Paleo Luna build. This guy just helps with me not going down at all. Just that extra 22 armor really helps. So if you like melee heroes, also if you like using Blast from the Past, I do think this guy is a very good hero to put on. So this is why he's the final one on this list. So that was 10 heroes I do recommend you get and use it to the best of their ability. They are very, very useful in certain situations. Birthday llamas are out now. I think they're only around for 2 or 3 weeks. They are 1,000 tickets each, so save up, get them, as you don't really get any duplicates unless you've already got everything. So they were 10 heroes. Very good heroes. I love those heroes. I use quite a lot of those heroes a lot. I am going to leave this here. Do let me know what you guys thought of this. Also, let me know if I missed any really good heroes out and tell me why you like them. But I'm going to leave this here. Let me know what you guys thought. As always, thank you for watching.